Hello, everyone. My name's SaveWithCrypto. I'm from the YouTube channel called SaveWithCrypto, which is what you're watching now. And I'm here today with Maff, who is the brains behind Quadzilla, which is a TradingView indicator that we're probably going to talk about quite a bit today. Hello, Maff.
Just
How
a
you
bit,
doing?
yeah. Hello, not bad, thank you. The brains. I feel like I'm a brain in a jar. That's something from Futurama or something.
I
It's,
I, I was thinking young Frankenstein, actually. Sort of,
okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, with the lab coat and the
yeah,
the crazy
the
hair.
yeah
Yeah.
the well, no, as in the what was his name? I
Oh,
can't
oh.
remember.
I was thinking of young Einstein. I
No,
think. Is
young
it?
young Frankenstein. Uh, Gene Wilder. Gene Wilder.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
I haven't actually seen it, to be honest.
oh, you
But
not?
maybe.
Oh, it's
No.
great because he gets Igor or Igor as
Yeah. Igor, I guess. Yeah.
who's played by Marty Feldman, uh,
Yeah.
who I just always thought was the strangest looking man in the world. And he says, "Go and get me a brain from the mortuary." And he was like, "Yes, I will go and get you a brain." And they end up making this monster, the Frankenstein, the monster, uh, and uh,
Yeah.
and it's a bit, it's not very good, And so Frankenstein, sorry, Doctor Frankenstein himself is sort of
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
"Eagle, where did you get this brain from?" He said, "I just got it from the mortuary." He said, what kind of brain was it? He said, "It was just one in a jar." He said, "What did it say anything on the jar?" He said, "Yeah, it had a name, Abby." Uh, he went, "Abnormal." You idiot! And he sort of throws him around the room. Anyway, so yeah, it's like Abby. Yeah. Anyway, so
Awesome.
hopefully
So,
not
so
not that brain.
no, so I got that to look forward to then. Just watching that. Um, I'll check it out. I'll make a note. It's a young. How do
Young
you spell
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein? And so,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's Young Frankenstein, but there's the only thing about it, I watched it when it came out, like about 40 years ago, whenever it was, but and I thought it was hilarious, and I watched it again a few years later, which is weird because I've been quoting lines from it most of my life, because
yeah.
it was a favorite.
It really had an impact at the time.
Oh yeah, completely, yeah. And then I watched it many years later, and I kind of realised that I think in the last half an hour they ran out of money because like it all went very quick, and it wasn't as good as the first bit. And I don't know, I just got that impression that I think the budget dried up, and they were like,
Yeah,
"Oh God, we've got to finish this," And I only noticed it years later. I mean, have a watch, and you'll
yeah.
see what I
I guess,
think.
I guess that must have been back in the days when movies just couldn't go over budget because it just happens. It's expected now, isn't it? It's like what
Yeah,
your film didn't go like twice over budget or anything like, well, it can't be very good then.
yeah. That's right. Yeah, because these days the more you spend on a film, the better it is, isn't it?
Oh,
Sort of.
exactly. Yeah. And
Yeah,
if it isn't in development hell with multiple reshoots and rumors, and the main lead leaving
yeah,
like twice, essentially.
yeah. I,
But yeah. Obviously, it's scientifically proven, isn't it, that the more money you throw at a film, the better it ends up being every time.
not,
Not
not
very much. Not. Yeah.
absolute classic of that is I know we're both Douglas Adams fans and like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and
Yeah.
I quite like the TV show. I thought that was really good. Back in whenever it was, the
Yeah.
late 70s, early 80s, whatever it was.
That was low budget, which is
It
great.
was low. It
Yeah.
was low budget. So then years later, they did a film version
Yeah.
with that. Is it Martin Friedman? Is it?
Freeman. Yeah.
Friedman.
Wasn't very
Yeah.
wasn't very all that good, was it?
No. Well, it started off good, and then it just ended up being some sort of weird, sort of like Hollywood blockbuster car chase type thing with spaceships, and
Yeah.
it's like what the hell's that all about? It's like it was just rubbish, really. And
Well, they also they cut out some of the classic lines,
they did.
like at the beginning, the thing about the plans for the demolition of Earth being down in the basement
Yeah.
of the planning office. Um, oh, no, sorry, the plans for demolishing his house, wasn't it, being done
Yeah.
in the development office,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then I know at some point we'll start talking about Bitcoin, by the way. But the whole thing about it being, it was eventually locked in a disused filing cabinet with a sign on it saying "Beware of the leopard."
Yeah,
And obviously the delivery would be better of that. But that was like one of the classic lines from the
yeah,
book and the radio series. And they just cut it out. They just said, "Oh, so you found it then? Well, eventually." I said,
yeah,
"Oh,
yeah,
well, great,
yeah.
butchered that one."
I
But what?
know, I know.
So it's
And
like
it's
they're playing it for not laughs for some reason. It's meant to be a comedy.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
um,
On that note,
on that note. Anyway, something where we don't skimp on the budget. That's not true actually. Anyway,
yeah, because we haven't got a budget.
the amount of money gone into this indicator is incredible. That's actually not true. But to be honest,
Roughly zero, I think. Yeah.
but to be honest, we are actually recycling a little bit of the money into another thing which will help the channel and everything anyway. So we are actually recycling some of the money we make from it, which is very, very small. So go and buy it. Go on. So savewithcrypto.org/QZ. Anyway, we'll talk about that later, but it is a brilliant indicator. And this morning we did the upgrade to version 1.6. Oh God, we need a thing.
Yeah.
I should have had the drum roll, shouldn't I?
Do it. Or maybe save that for when we go through 1.6.
Go through the features. Yeah. Anyway, so it is now live. So if you've got Quadzilla, you should be able to see a little purple circle in your thingy down here, and you should be able to give that a click, and you'll be upgraded automatically at no cost, of course. And so that's all good. And so what's been happening? Well, let's just go and look at Bitcoin. I was very, very delighted this morning to wake up to a nice green candle. And in particular, I mean, yesterday I was looking at it on the 1 hour time frame, and I really, 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 really wanted these EMAs to cross over, the yellow one and the green one. So the yellow one is a 21 EMA, and the green one's the 55 EMA. I wanted those to cross over on the 1 hour time frame, because what had happened was I'd woke up on Saturday and they looked like they were going to cross, and they didn't. They just kind of went along together. And in the end, the yellow gave up and it dropped below, and it was all a bit, I was like, oh no, that's not going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
So then they crossed bullish just after we'd finished our mega long live stream yesterday. How was B&Q, by the way?
It was okay. I mean, I'll give you a long and detailed report on that later on in the live stream. I think
might need a drum roll for that as well.
Yeah.
Or something.
But we found a bifold door for an extra bedroom. So that's really so that was the result. I think we might regret installing it, because it'll be a bit weird to open. But
it's all about saving space. But the problem is you can get lost in space, can't you?
Keeping the Hollywood theme going here.
That's a bit Alan Partridge actually. But people go on about space, but you can get lost in space anyway. So we got that bullish cross there, and in my usual kind of fashion, I think will that continue? So what I normally do then is I look at the next higher time frame up, which for me, well, actually sometimes I do look at the 90-minute actually, but anyway, 2 hours, 2 hour time frame that crossed bullish last night at 8 o'clock in the evening, and that was really, really good. And you can see that Quadzilla drew in this this kind of convergence shading thing here to sort of show that these are approaching at a reasonable.
It's a zone. It's a convergence zone.
Oh God, yeah. Sorry about it. I keep butchering
I was having trouble remembering it as well. Just anything.
I keep butchering your nomenclatures, aren't I? So it's not a sentence you say every day, is it?
No.
He butchering my nomenclatures. And right. So that was happening. However, there was a bit of an advance warning about this because we've now got these mid-range cross alert things here. Okay, we did actually have that one there as the momentum was going up. Giving you a bit of an inkling that things were going well. Actually, to be honest, you've also got the cyan and the yellow EMAs crossing there as well.
Yeah,
it was looking.
There's actually quite a lot there, isn't there? That's signaling.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, and in the live stream, my reasoning for this is like, I've had enough of this down stuff. I think we need to go up now. So which is what I said. Anyway, that worked out. Everything worked.
Passion-based TA, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway, everything worked out fine, and now it's dumping. No, it's not actually. It's pulling back a little bit. But,
Another thing on there, just very quickly. If you go back to that just for a second.
What was it on? 2 hour?
Yeah.
No, 1 hour, wasn't it?
Well, in fact, it's on there as well. Look at it.
Oh, okay.
It was a 2 hour, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the 2 hour. Just that, that retracement level, which entered its step 3 in the middle, kind of in the middle.
Oh, this one here.
Yeah, so that was another sign, because it was kind of very much just like, hey, the price is kind of going to come back to here and then shoot above, because it's a bullish retracement, quite soon, because when it gets to that step 3, it's like, get ready, and it just needs that price reversal for it to happen. But you kind of know that that's on the cards very much.
Okay, so just to clarify,
there's a whole series of signs on there, really.
Yeah, so just to clarify, you can see this retracement line here. That actually did its first 2 steps quite quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, that was within the first. Well, in fact, to be honest, the point, excuse me, the point where the pattern gets detected is where the arrowhead is drawn in. So,
okay.
So really that had already happened. I think it does kind of then look back a bit and say like, well, okay, let's draw this right, so it kind of based it a bit on what's before, and then because really that initial step 1, certainly the step 1 is the sort of discovery phase really of the retracement. Right. So it's like, okay, we've got some bullish things. There's going to be price movement on either side of this level. So let's get it right. So that's kind of what the step 1 does. So you got the up initially, up to the price maximum, and then obviously the down. It's unusual, to be honest, that happened. That it all happened before, or the step 1 and 2 happened before the arrowhead, really.
Oh, I see. Which is why you've got an extra bit of thick bit there, is it? That's part.
Yeah, exactly. So it just kind of draws it in a bit, and then but then very much it goes like, oh, actually, you know what? We're really in a step 3 here. So it kind of continues to draw that in.
Okay.
So that was very much a reactive retracement, in the sense that just in the way that began, you kind of know that that's going to be, you're not going to have to wait around too long really for the price to come back up. Okay. It's quite volatile at that point.
Okay. So in fact that
down to the lowest, back there.
Yeah, that came right back down to there. So that is all right. This is a bit of a weird one because this happened quite quickly, as Maff said. It kind of went up and came down pretty quick. So that retracement did its first 2 steps, if you like. Then the third step, what we're looking for, is when it retraces back to this line, and you can tell that's the step 3 because it's just thinner, like one pixel sort of line, isn't it, rather than the 2 pixel.
Which is configurable. Also, the color of the step 3 is slightly darker as well, so it distinguishes it a bit.
Let's not confuse them. Anyway, so that came back to there, and then it's obviously gone further beyond.
Which is very much the idea that you kind of know that. So it's bullish. It's a bullish retracement pattern there because the price comes back to step 3, and you kind of want it to keep on going, like keep the long going, essentially. Let it run.
Excellent. Okay, so obviously, hang on. So what was on to? Right. So in the same way, we've now got this one here, haven't we? This one here. This. Let's just get rid of that for a minute. So this one here, that's kind of done its step 1.
Yeah, so it looks like it's probably reached its highest point.
Okay.
So for that market structure, it's done the up. So we're kind of expecting a down, and then very much to find where that price reversal is. Obviously, we look to the momentum oscillator,
Right.
which is quite clearly saying there's going to be a bit of down.
Yeah,
So,
and we can
yeah.
and we can see that here in particular on this time frame because that doesn't help because there's a little, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little red arrow there as well pointing down, which is called a super down indicator. Let me just expand that. There you go. You can see it a bit better there.
Yeah.
So means that the asset is very overbought at that point. So you would expect some downside. So what we kind of expect to see now is the price to come down, probably a bit below that normally, isn't it?
Usually, yeah. So at that point, you'd also kind of look at the overall market structure, because I think if we're seeing a series of higher lows, which it looks like we kind of are.
Yeah.
There's been two really, if you count the wicks. So there's been a couple of higher lows on there, including the one that's way back on the left. So yeah, that one. I mean, I suppose it depends on your interpretation. You can include the one on the left, which I think it does count, doesn't it? So if we see another one of those, then that might be the price it comes down to. Like you could even just with those two most recent lows, you could kind of draw in a trend line, I guess, on those.
Yeah, you could
if you want to, and then it depends how much truck you put into trend lines. Really, you notice that now that kind of brings it kind of very close to the retracement level, so that could very much be a thing,
Right. Okay. Yeah. So what you're saying is we could come down.
Yeah.
Pretty much to about there. But it
depends how exactly. Yeah. Very much that. It might be a quick capitulation, a quick reset, and then carry on up.
So
it might even wick below that line, but as long as it closes above it or on it, or whatever. Yeah.
So there you go. Something like 103.250 might be an interesting point to consider a position, but not financial advice, of course, and all that.
This is all just indications and probability and so on. Really,
that's just entertainment.
Reading the tea leaves,
There is also, hang on, if I can find my thingy. Where did I put it? Sorry, it's all gone quiet. Right, do click the like if you're there it is. Right, so I knew I'd drawn it in earlier on. There is also this is from the thumbnail of this video, wasn't it? This live stream rather. There is also a CME gap because obviously we went up quite a lot last night, so there is a CME gap as well. What's that down? That's down at quite a lot down. 104, 185. That makes sense? Where are we now?
I got distracted. I was reading through the comments.
Sorry, that's not right.
What are you looking at? The gap. The CME.
Yeah. So what were we talking about for the retracement? I can't remember now. But anyway, so there is this CME gap here. So that might get gobbled up at some point this week, maybe. I mean, they have been closing quite a lot over the last few months.
4.2. Yeah. So I'm just having a quick look. Yeah. So I can't really see what I'm doing, but the retracement level was at 104.7.
It depends.
So if the gap is around there, where's the gap?
Oh, well.
So the retracement was at 104.7, and it's different on yours. Oh, you're on the one. You're looking on the 1 hour. Sorry,
That's
I
on
was
the
looking
1
at the
hour.
one on the 2 hour. Okay.
Oh, are you? Let's have a look. We'll get some different ones. So 103.4 on the 1 hour. 2 hour is 103. What am I looking at? I'm looking at the.
I'm on the index.
What the bloody hell am I looking at here?
I mean, even on Bitunix, it's 104. 104.6.
So I'm just being a complete bloody idiot here. Sorry. So
right.
sorry. So I'm on the Bitstamp chart now. I'm just completely irrelevant. Right. Sorry, no, I was looking at some futures chart. Sorry, that was completely rubbish. Sorry. Right. That's better. Right.
Well, talk about entertainment. That's kind of
Oh yeah. There you
provides
go.
much.
Oh, okay. So that's actually down quite a bit then, isn't it? Sort of 102,938.
Ooh. So, is this? Oh, that's Bitstamp, is it? You're looking at?
Which? Let me put it on the index thingy.
Sure.
Oh yeah. Okay. So ignore everything I was talking about earlier on because I was looking at the wrong chart.
Well, some of it, not everything.
Apart from the Douglas Adams bit, which is like
that's the most important item. Yeah.
Okay, that's down quite a lot, isn't it? Okay,
that is kind of interesting. So you're looking at that on the
1 hour on the index chart.
Okay, let's have a look. This isn't the most riveting thing for people. I think we're comparing minutiae of charts. But, yeah, I mean, mine's got 103.045. How are those different? That's so weird.
What are you looking at? You got the index chart, yeah?
Yeah, Bitcoin US dollar 1 hour index.
Why is that different?
103.05. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter. We can compare notes later. But they're very similar. I think that's the thing. Okay. So interesting that 4 hours got a similar number as well. Actually, so the time frames are agreeing, aren't they? They're in confluence.
They don't often. So they don't always do that, but sometimes they do, don't they?
Yeah. So that suggests a lot of agreeingness. So on the CME, if we're looking at kind of between 103 and 104, I think really for the.
Hang on a sec.
Sure.
Oh, look. I'm just going to turn it off. Bloody AA pestering me. My car's not even broken down.
It's quite enchanting music. Anyway, they're going to hypnotise you into upgrading or something.
Well, they just want me to renew my breakdown cover, but I don't really go anywhere these days. So if I break down, I'm going to be like a mile from home. So
yeah. I did have a thing once, like years ago. I thought I was well covered with AA cover, but then the car wouldn't start on the front driveway one time. So I called them and they're saying, well, yeah, your car's broken down, but if it's on your driveway, then you got the wrong cover, mate. Can't do it.
Yeah.
But what about all your adverts saying that we love to help and people, mechanics jumping into the air while throwing their spanners up directly above them overhead?
Yeah.
So well, you can pay for this now and then take out the home care or whatever. So swines. So literally, if I'd just kind of like pushed the car a couple of yards or whatever, or a few meters onto the road.
I think with the AA, it has to be 1/4 of a mile, actually.
1/4 of a mile? Oh, okay, that would have been quite a workout, pushing the car that far.
Yeah, I know. Well, it kind of happened to me once, actually, and the problem is I've got an automatic, so I can't move it if it won't start.
Yeah. I guess that you can't really bump start those, can you? Automatic.
You can't do anything with them if they stop.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Sorry, let me. Sorry about this. We're just having a little chat.
I just realised
talk amongst yourselves.
Setting the world to rights.
Well, it was
Yeah, it
the
isn't. It
AA's.
isn't Sunday now, is it? We need to get
It was
sharp with this.
it was the AA's fault. So yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Also, right, they wanted like 130 quid or something. I kind of looked on like compare the market or whatever, and there's like other people do it for like 39 quid. So I probably won't need it.
It ain't right, is it? It ain't right.
No, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want more of that, join us for the Sunday ramble. I think that's when we can talk about that sort of stuff.
It was a good one yesterday. The time absolutely flew by yesterday. It was great.
Yeah, it really did. Yeah. I think anyone watching it, they may be more of a bit of a slow grind.
Yeah, maybe. Right. So let's get this straight. Right. So CME wise, right? Yeah, that gap is at I haven't got it marked on this one, but that is at kind of like 104.5, 104.2, that kind of area there. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's that. And then what we're talking about is, say, for example, BTC USD index chart. This is the 2 hour that's got 104.7. The 1 hour down at 103. That CME gap is going to fill, isn't it?
Yeah, like everything's pointing towards that, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Yeah. We could even, I mean, a bit later on, I'll look at the, like things like the liquidation heat map and so on, and compare that to see. Yeah,
that is that one. That's probably. Yeah, that's probably what we're looking at, isn't it? Sort of like 10, just around about 103, actually, which is a little bit scary for anybody who's just sort of like, seen the pump and gone long this morning, isn't it? So, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, with this sort of thing, there's got to be profit taking at some point, isn't there? Like, just short term profit taking before things move on up. But yeah, got a few things to discuss on that. There was also, I don't know if you saw, I put in a video update into the Discord earlier this morning.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. Discussing a bit around that.
We could actually. Do you want? What do you want to do? Do you want to just talk about the updates to Quadzilla first, or?
Yeah, sure. Because if I do that, I might give you a bit of time to.
You do that, and I'll get your video together, and then we'll do a bit of TA afterwards. Should we do that?
Sounds good. Okay.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
I'll give the screen a quick, good old share. Give it a shake. Get the right one.
Let's have a quick look at the comments.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Right. They talk about ZoidPay, I think.
Yeah, okay. ZoidPay above 0.01 after AMA. Possibly. I don't know where it is at the moment, actually. We can have a look at that in a moment. Yeah, the AMA is today, so I'll put a link for that in the description in a minute. But that's going to be at 6 p.m. I don't know exactly what's going to be told to us, but I think it's going to be interesting. I think the reason I don't know, they were talking about the AMA being a couple of weeks ago, and it's in true ZoidPay fashion, it's late. But I actually wonder if it's late because they were waiting for something to happen that they can actually talk about, saying this is now live or something like that. I don't know. That's what I'm hoping anyway. WJM definitely not. Okay, fair enough.
We need. By the way, this is ZoidPay chart. It's on the daily.
Oh, okay. So
there's been some pumping there, isn't there?
Oh, okay. So I can't quite see what's the price. Yeah, that is up quite nice actually. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. WJM saying we need to see a working app. Yeah, definitely. That's what we need to see. Just a 20% jump. We're going to see him like that. Honestly, I think well, I don't know. Do what you want, but I bought myself a bag of ZoidPay, well, a kind of extra bag, if you like. I bought it round about it was whatever the figure is now, starting with a 7. It was down quite a few percent from where it is now. Okay, Duck Egg, excellent afternoon, chaps. All right there, Mr. Duck Egg. That's great. WJM, any news on when I can expect Black Friday offer for Quadzilla?
I was thinking actually we could probably introduce it. We don't have to wait until actual Black Friday, because I think a lot of companies have just started to introduce theirs now. It's like November Friday, really, isn't it? Or something like that. Well, just a thought. I mean, we could maybe have a think about what to offer and so on, maybe after this.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So the answer to that is a Zoid pay soon.
Yeah, at some indeterminate point.
Which means at any time in the next 3 years. But no, it will be soon. No, we'll make an announcement this week. Let's say that. Maybe on Friday. Anyway, hit like, people. That's a bloody good point, actually. Yeah, do hit like, actually.
Absolutely.
Nick's here. You're late, mate.
Tapping your watch.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Florin was here way before you. Anyway, KB, afternoon, guys. Hello, KB. Ian, it's a hi, everyone.
Hey, Ed. Really good to see you here, actually. So I guess you must be here on your lunch break in your new contract. So glad to see you.
Okay, cool, brilliant, excellent. Crypto J, hi guys, hello Crypto J. Right, awesome. Right, I'll let you do your stuff and I'll go and find that video and get it prepared.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so Quadzilla 1.6. So we did talk about this quite a bit on yesterday's kind of long rambling Sunday dinner live stream. Actually, I'm underplaying it a bit. It was actually a pretty good live stream, lots of details and so on. So 1.6 is essentially kind of a... Sorry, I'm just trying to bring up a document. I should have done this. That's okay. Yeah, before I screen shared. Got it. So yeah, it started off as kind of a maintenance update, but as it turned out, there are a fair number of new things in it, and there's also some tidy ups. So things removed that that kind of served their purpose, I suppose, or they've kind of converged into other things, and just things generally improved and tidied up, and a couple of new things as well. So I think the most requested new thing was the EMA alerting. So essentially, when we get actually not going to find that on ZoidPay. Let's go to back to here. So essentially, if you get like a bullish or a bearish cross of the EMAs, that's something that's generally it would be very nice to be alerted on that. So you can now set up an alert for those. If I go to add alert, then on here essentially you can choose from here. So that the new ones we've got are all of those actually. So if it's a faster EMA, like here with the 9 and the 21, if a bearish cross, or kind of back here you've got a bullish cross. So if the 9 crosses under or over the 21, so it's that, and then the combination of the two is that one. The normal EMAs, otherwise known as the EMAs, so they're that's the 21 and the 55. So i.e. the yellow and the green. So if they cross in any of those sort of combinations, like bearish or bullish or either, then you can set up an alert for that. Then if you don't really care about the particulars, you just want to know when there's some sort of EMA cross on the chart, then you got any which incorporates all of those. Well, incorporates that one and that one really. And this one is also added into the hyper alert mix. So the hyper alert is essentially if any of these happens on that chart, then you get an alert on it. The one sort of downside to that is that just because the way that TradingView alerts work, you don't actually get to see like which one of these happened. So you kind of have to then go to the chart and work out what may have just happened. It's just kind of, so this is like hey, your attention is needed, sort of an alert, and like, pull up a chair and get technical analysing on that. So that's the alerts. We've got so as I was talking about, excuse me, as I was talking about before with the retracements, step 2 and step 3 colours, they're differentiated a bit more now. So here you can kind of see the step 2 colour is kind of a lurid green, and then the step 3 is a darker green, so you can just tell them apart a bit more. And the line width is kind of editable now as well. So if I go down to retracements up a bit, so you can kind of set different line widths on that. So like at the moment set to 2, and that's set to, so step 2 is set to 2 pixels. Step 3 is set to 1 pixel, and get a bit of an explanation in there about the bearish and bullish retracements, the step 2s and the step 3s. So that's that. And what else we've got? So yeah, the alert for the trend shields is now gone. Oh, by the way, with the colouring on these, I was just playing around in the settings. So that's not like the default colours, the white and the blue. They're the defaults are the green and the red. Just playing about a bit on those. I can actually find a trend shield. The interesting thing with the trend shield, it never ever shows up when you're actually looking for it. I listen now, but it does wait for you to comment on that, and then they show up. So it's just how it works. So here the bullish trend shield, which is essentially just saying, hey, no, there might be other signs on the charts generally that that things are starting to look a bit overbought, and so we might expect a reversal around here sometime soon. But the trend shield has kind of got your back. Really, is saying, whoa, hold on there, don't do anything just yet, because there's still potential upside. You can kind of see that happening there. So it's really just when it starts to fade out, and you kind of see other changes in the market as well, like the EMA trends coming around and so on. At that point, so these start to fade out, and then you get the reversal, like so. But yeah, anyway, that's always been there. But we did have an alert set on that, which was a little bit pointless, because really, if it's just saying, alert, don't do anything just yet, then what's the point of that? So that's gone. There was consensus on that, so we kind of discussed that in the Discord, so made sure that no one was actually using it in some surprising way before that went. So yeah, there's a bit of a tidy up on the inputs and the status line, which is also kind of requested. So also kind of a simplification with the EMA retracements. So when the faster EMA retracements were introduced, they were differentiated by this bit showing up in cyan, whether it's a bearish or the bullish, and you could also switch them off individually within here. So like for the retracements, that you could switch off the retracements generally there, but you could also switch off the faster EMA retracements. So that was just a bit of caution, really, because it's a new feature. You may want to just switch that off for a while until it beds in. But because the faster EMA retracements are well and truly part of the whole setup now, and I doubt that anyone would really just choose to switch them off individually. So that whole distinction is gone now. There's just retracements. So whether it's the faster ones or the normal ones. So it gives you one less detail to have to think about, or arbitrarily consider really when you're trading. Yeah, the mid-range cross. not notification. Yeah, the mid-range cross signal is back and improved. So what used to happen was that down here, if the momentum oscillators kind of converged and crossed over, basically kind of mid-range, like somewhere between there and there, really, between the 30 and the 70, then that was kind of considered to be a significant event, which kind of is. But then what would happen is that the background color would change as it does, in its normal way for if you're in oversold or overbought. And that did get a bit confusing, because it's like, well, what's it actually trying to tell us there? So these kind of disappeared temporarily, but now they're kind of back, and instead they're differentiated because they only highlight the background, between those levels, essentially. And now they're just between the 20 and the 80. So if and also the times when they appear, the conditions when they appear, have been kind of just fine-tuned a little bit. So now, if they cross over, if they cross up or cross down within this range, also both lines have to be kind of going in the same direction when that happens. So the faster line just crosses above the slower moving line, but they both have to be pointing upwards at the time, and the same for down. So yeah, they actually give you a pretty good indication that the current price momentum is either just going to continue for a bit longer, or is even actually going to gain strength as it goes along. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, and also if you look in the tooltips for mid-range cross, then it gives you, just find that, yeah, it gives you more details there of the whatevers. Yeah, there's also just a bit of a tidy up. So like these, change these at your peril, kind of abandon hope, or all ye who change these values from here on down. So I've tidied that up a bit. There were some kind of just exposed details that really didn't need to be exposed, because it's like kind of fiddling with the inside of the engine. But as talked about before, if you got an automatic, then it makes a lot less sense. So Quadzilla is now much more of an automatic,
Okay.
but one that actually changes gear when you actually want it to. So rather than at just the wrong moment. So yeah, I think that's kind of it. Oh, and also of course the stats. So this is something that we started to talk about yesterday, but kind of ran out of time a little bit. So if I switch on the newish, more detailed stats. So we've had retracement stats in here for quite a while, but then they're now kind of, there's just like a lot more stuff there to chew on. So it gives a bit of details there. So as you can see, like you use the stats to find a trading pair and time frame where the retracements perform particularly well. See how changing the settings affects the retracement's performance. And also it says, for more info in the stats table, check the tooltips on the tick, the up down, and the left right cells. In other words, these ones here. So the original stats, which were kind of the all important, how successful are the retracements on this current trading pair and time frame. So like step one, which is always 100%, because it's like when step one is happening, that's when the retracement pattern is detected. So that's always 100%. But then, so like on this chart, there's been 42 bearish retracements detected, and of those, 40 completed successfully to step two. So in other words, it did the down and up, which is kind of 95%, which is insanely good. And then of the step twos that completed, 36 went on to complete step three, which is 90%. And then for bullish, I mean, so this is on the Bitcoin daily. You notice on here the bullish stat is radically lower, 70%, which is still like very, very good for any indicator to have stats like that. Normally something above 50% is considered great. Like, oh wow, that gives us the trading edge. We can work with that. But we have got a bit spoiled with the 90% plus percentages. So we see only 70. But at the same time, to be honest, for Quadzilla that is a bit low. But so slight digression here, but there is kind of a reason for that, I think. So when the market is overall bullish, which it obviously is, just contrary to popular belief, we're still in a bull market and so on, and have been throughout this last month or two, pullbacks notwithstanding. And I think also because it's on the daily, so you kind of get that. So the step 2 bit is when the price has kind of gone down and kind of retrace back up. So that it's that aspect of it, I think, that means that can be lower. So if you talk about a bullish, this makes more sense actually. So on a bullish retracement in a bull market, the step 2, which is the up and then coming back down, will play out less because overall the price is going to move up more than it moves down. So you'll see less downage, down retracements completed, especially on the higher time frame, like the daily, if that makes sense. But then also because it's a bull market, the step 3 of these that plays out is kind of after that. Then it's the up. Then that works out as pretty stellar 97%. So it really does make sense. I think when we're into a bear market, then that'll flip. You'll kind of see probably the bearish step 2s will be lower, and the bearish step 3s will be higher because the overall trend will be down. The predominant price direction will be down overall over any particular sort of range of time, if that makes sense. Anyway, that's a huge digression, but it's kind of it's a discussion of how the retracement stats can actually help to like analyze a particular market or a particular chart in its current economic state or whatever. But yeah, so the extra bit, I think, for these, if I go to a lower time frame like here, so yeah, you notice like on the half hour, then suddenly these are all up in the 90s, which really does make sense for that. There's just more chop, generally. So did that. So for these new stats, then we've got the this one is the average price move in each completed step. So this might take a little bit of explaining, but so for step 1, for bearish, let's find a good bearish. Well, that's pretty good. Bearish retracement. Do that. And just size it a bit. Like so. Step 1 for this is from the point where the retracement pattern was detected, which was down here, and it's basically the from the top of that candle, draw it, from the top of that candle where the arrowhead is essentially, down to the lowest point, down, and why isn't that drawing funky arrowheads? Give me arrow, thank you. And then so so on average, out of all these step 1s that have played out, it's from that point down to the lowest point for the bearish retracements. On average, that's been a price move on the 30-minute Bitcoin chart of minus $973, or about 1.24%, kind of from that from there down to there. Like this I can just measure with that. In this case, that would be that particular one is minus 1.67%. So that's a little bit higher than the average that these are shown out at. So yeah, average that. And then step 2 is on average from there, get drawing, from there kind of, oh god, it's hiding the thing, oh thanks, up to there, about there. Let me just delete this one from before, old scribble. So yeah, that went a little bit wrong. Anyway, so yeah, it's, on average, it's the lowest point where step 1 reached and completed up to the highest point where step 2 reached. In this case, it's a little bit of a misnomer because the step 3 kind of would have finished there. So this one actually would have just been kind of to there. But in reality, if you were trading this, you'd be longing that and just kind of, letting the long position run, just, trade up to there. And then looking at this allegedly red momentum background kind of tells you that the price is going to reverse at that point, and boom, sure enough does. So kind of between the two of them really, and of course the momentum turning red. So in that sense, the stats probably don't quite do this any favors, if you know what I mean. So they're because the stats are probably actually better than what it shows on here, but still, it's still kind of useful for just getting a feel for if you're trading a particular chart and a particular time frame, just what kind of price moves on average you're going to expect to see. What kind of percentage trade sizes can you expect on there? And the other bit then is just kind of like how long they take to play out on average. So then the other part of this for the step 3 would be just say if that line is current. I'm going to draw in a fake line just to illustrate, to save a bit of time as well, so I don't have to go hunting another one. So from there, say if that was step 3 for the bearish retracement, then it's on average what's the price move from the highest point of step 2 actually back down to the line, and what percent move is that. So of course in reality again, the price you'd expect it to kind of drop below that bearish retracement and carry on down. So again, you'd be like letting the short run, just racking up profits until something down here tells you, like there, wherever a bullish one is, tells you that the price is reversing. So again, it just kind of really helps you on that sort of things. Then the bullish ones are just that, but the opposite. So the and then this bit, the average duration. So number of bars and amount of time. So like 6 hours on average for step 1 to play out on the 30-minute chart. On average, 18.5 hours for step 2 to play out. Step 3 on average 3.5 hours. So so this is very much just kind of getting into the long weeds a bit. Is that the right expression? I suppose. But so it's important to note that to use Quadzilla, you don't actually have to understand or use any of this. It's just kind of there. It's kind of an advanced feature. So anyone who really does want to dig into the stats and use it for to plan out their trades and so on, then it's now very much there for you to use with the explainers on the tooltips and so on. But yeah, just to emphasize again, to use Quadzilla, you don't have to use any of that. It's just there for traders who might potentially want to just dig into these details some more. I think that's it. That's 1.6.
Okay, that's awesome stuff. Actually, I mean, well done with everything you've done. It's just incredible work, I think, really. And
cheers.
As I said this morning in my video, it's over 1,000 lines of beautiful code, and And yeah,
it is beautiful code. Yeah, it's quite, for Pine script, it's quite object oriented.
There you go. There you go. Right, I think it's time, isn't it?
It just might be.
Moo indeed. Anyway, I think we'll better start off with the TA video that Maff did this morning for the Discord. So if you're in the Discord, you probably might have seen this already, but I think it's probably worth watching again. Also, I haven't seen it either, so I want to watch it. Right. So here we go.
It's about 3 minutes from yesterday's Chill Sunday live stream. During that, we looked at, well, obviously the price of Bitcoin. That's going to be the thing. This was... still is Bitcoin on the 4 hour. What I did was I drew in this trend line just here, because obviously it kind of had various touch points along the way. This must have been on some other time frame, maybe the hourly. What we could see is that the price kind of respected this trend line heading up and then successfully launched from it with the macroeconomic news that came in, and that's obviously all kind of changed the overall sentiment, I would think, for the market. It just flipped, really. We'll talk about that more in the live stream a bit later. But in the meantime, what I did also draw in, almost as a joke, was this trend line, the steeper one, just kind of saying that for things to really take off, we kind of really want to do something like that, or ideally something even higher, just to really kind of get back up to the levels that we want to be back up at. And then, of course, Bitcoin was very obliging, and it did pretty much exactly that. Kind of reached this consolidation level now, where I suspect it'll remain until the usual thing, with the New York market opening at 2:30 UK time, UTC. And then after that, you'd kind of hope that it'll just continue its way up. There is this retracement level to be aware of, which is, you can see past my microphone, let's go around it, 103.7, potentially might see just kind of a completion of this structure a little bit back to there. But then being a bullish retracement, we should then see a continued launch on it from there, so we'll kind of see bounce and back up. Other things that are looking very bullish, of course, the faster moving 9 EMA crossed above the 21, and those are kind of steeply rising, even with kind of this consolidation going on. There's still a strong upward movement. The slower moving 55 EMA has slowed its descent, and it's now angling moderately upwards. So as long as this can kind of continue up, then we should see the 55 heading up. What we really want is the 21 to catch up and overtake the 55. So if we get that bullish cross, then that'd be a really good sign of a strong continued upward trend there. Similarly, down here on the momentum oscillator, so the faster moving oscillator has kind of made its way up, kind of into overbought, but it's only really overbought if the market is clearly overheated. At this stage, you sort of feel like it's really just revving up, just getting started. It's kind of okay to that remain up there, and then the rest of the momentum oscillators, which are embodied within the weighted average, they're kind of catching up. They can obviously stay up in this area for quite a while. They can kind of hit 100 and just face planted against the ceiling. But, you know, they can stay there, that's fine. It's just when you start to see other signs as well that things might be due for some reversal to the downside, just a cool off or whatever, then you can start to think, okay, well, maybe these are going to start curving round and come back down. But that's for later. Right now, I think we're kind of looking at general upside. There was this area that I drew in. I think this was probably an area of support back at the time, but then we kind of broke down below that. The danger now is that's going to be an area of resistance heading back, so we could well see a bounce from within here. That's at 108.4, possibly another pullback from there and then up. And lovely retracement level lurking at 113. So if we can reclaim this area and then head on up, then that should be a very strong week. We'll see. And as I was saying, we'll discuss this in more detail a bit later on in the live stream at 12 UK today. See you then. Bye.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, I kind of cut you off a bit there. In fact, I cut you off with yourself, so you cut yourself off. No,
That's good. Yeah. So
I'd already pressed
I've only
play.
got myself to blame, is what you say.
Yeah, I'd already pressed play by the time you started speaking. I was thinking, oh God, sounds a bit rude. Anyway,
Yeah.
so that's interesting. You were talking about a similar level to what we were talking about earlier, weren't you? That 103 something.
Yeah.
103.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all good. Anyway, what? So is it going to go up or down?
Well, yeah. Good question. Let's do some TA on that if I can find the right window. Here we go. One thing I noticed actually was that. Oh, in fact, that was this there before. So this is back to the 1 hourly. So yeah, we've got a trend shield showing, haven't we? Bullish trend shield. So while the price has been kind of consolidating in that area, but I mean very much consolidating in that area, just which is so generally bullish, I think. So the trend shield is kind of saying like, don't you go shorting now, do you? Here, because there's potentially more upside, even though the market, in terms of the momentum, has gone a bit toppy. The blue ones are the down. I'm just going to reset these. Let me just 1 second.
You see, I always think there's kind of two ways to think about the trend shield. Really, it's like it's kind of like if you're expecting a dump, then you're looking at it and you're thinking, okay, when it stops appearing, when you're looking at a bullish one, when it stops appearing, it's probably going to dump at that point, And then you've got the other situations where the price action is quite relentless, and it's like it's almost like now. I think it's overall it's very bullish, isn't it? Everything's bullish. The EMAs are looking bullish. That 3 hour EMA is going to cross soon, probably. So at this point, the trend shield is like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? You're not actually looking for you're not looking for a dump per se, are you? You're looking for
true.
A possible little pullback before we go back up properly,
Yeah, which it could well do. I mean, because there are all sorts of levels here where it could. Actually, maybe this. Like potentially that. I'm sure that ties in with some levels back there as well. In fact, it kind of does, yeah. So way back when, it kind of dumped that same kind of level. Maybe that's superstition, I don't know, but it seems like maybe that there is something to be said about that. So it could kind of even just blip down to that kind of 105.5 level, and then up. There's also, of course, that area of liquidity as well, which again, if we could draw it from there really, then suddenly it's potentially this sort of thing. What's that got? Yeah, wow, it's like something. It's like some crazy thing, isn't it? That it ties in. These levels just keep showing up. This is obviously where the buy and sell orders have been lurking, where just leverage positions have been opened, and so on. So yeah, I forgot what I was saying. So yeah, so we could see a drop down to that sort of area. Excuse me. And again here where it's been ranging, I'm sure do a similar sort of thing there. In fact, let's draw that in as a line in that one, because just looking at touch points over there as well, but where it's kind of lining up or not, as the case may be. So I think these now are all areas of support. So if there is some kind of pullback, it's it could drop to this area, kind of liquidity zone. If it drops further, it could just drop to this one, potentially come down to here. It's the usual thing where we keep saying, it's not going to hit that retracement level. We're never going to trade at 103k ever again, and just drops down to it like 5 minutes later. So I think that this would probably be the line in the sand, like maybe the final line in the sand. I don't know, for the current, just the current bull run, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. So I think what I'm trying to say is, any pullback is probably going to be shallow and brief, and then kind of on up. There was this area that I was talking about, which is a little bit ominous, but it's the old 108.4. I think what's likely to happen is, because obviously what seems to have caused all this positivity is things like the news about the government shutdown being shut up, and all of that. But of course, that isn't yet actually signed, sealed, and delivered, is it? It's only kind of that the handshake is like the hands are slowly moving towards each other. They haven't actually, it's, when cats start barking or something like that is when the Republicans and the Democrats kind of actually agree on something, make a real bipartisan deal or whatever. So yeah, but it does, like, at the moment, I suppose the market has gone. It seems like it's gone full bullsoids or whatever, and you always get a little bit suspicious when there's that element of mania returns. Suddenly everyone's saying the same thing. But although this time I think there is some cautiousness in the narrative, isn't there? People are still a little bit unsure. So maybe it's not quite that mania just yet. But I think if that bipartisan deal is reached kind of later in this week, then I think at that point, then I think things should go a bit kind of crazy for the rest of November, and hopefully into December as well. So at this stage, it's more kind of just like, yay, the two sides in the US are kind of in slightly grudging agreement. Like, oh, mum and dad have stopped arguing and now they're friends again. Just right. So the traders are still cautious. Like that, dad bought her a necklace and called her princess, and now they're friends, or something like that. Just that probably makes no sense, actually.
What are you on about?
I don't know. Well, it's like if the Republicans and Democrats are suddenly like agreeing things and being friendly, and they've ended their kind of probably quite abusive relationship for the time being, but it's just until the next big argument, or something. So
we're still waiting for news.
Essentially, yeah. We're still. So I think we're looking at like cautious front running of that, of the government shutdown actually like sort of being ended. That the end of it actually happening, and being confirmed. But obviously, there's all sorts of other things that are building up in terms of positivity. Because there have been weeks of like stagnation, negativity. Does it feel like traders generally have sort of pivoted suddenly to risk on strategies all of a sudden? Like like you're saying, like we are so back. Like really, or are we? So there's.
I'm always stunned by how quickly sentiment changes. Literally 24 hours ago, 48 hours ago, everyone was saying that's it, bull run's over. Now it is like, oh, we're so back. Like.
Yeah, which definitely makes me cautious about it. But maybe that's just the sort of bitten at least 3 too many times or whatever. It's kind of fool me 8 times, shame on me or whatever. So in terms of forecasts for Q4, what do the gurus have to say? I think so. Generally, I think the Q4, like the revised Q4 forecasts, it seems to be all over the place. I feel like just gurus, get your heads together, and just agree on some stuff. Like the Republicans and the Democrats, like they can agree on stuff. So if I do this, I realise I've got a lot of drawings on this. Oh, I'm on the 1 hour. Let's go to the daily and bring this in a bit. So they're kind of looking at like somewhere, I think somewhere between 120 and 140 as revised estimates for the price high for Q4. Let's actually just kind of draw that in. So if it's like that, then if so that's 120 more or less, and then 140. So that kind of from the same point. These are not exact, of course. So and then when is the end of Q4? Should I just draw a squiggly line just to represent the end of the year? What about there? Yeah, sorry about this. Oh no, now I've got a negative arrow pointing down. Let's do that. Keep it positive. So that's doable, isn't it? Because if actually just for a moment, this is sacrilege, but I'm going to switch off Quadzilla for a moment and minimize that, so you can kind of see that. Where's that gone? There. So if we're there in previous runs, so like maybe if I go to the weekly for this, because we're kind of looking at the more. It's actually the weekly. Yeah. There you go. Excuse me. Normal service will be resumed in a moment. Just, yeah. So on this, like that, you could probably count that as kind of an impulsive move up, just there, and that one, say from the low, kind of up to there. That was like 48, nearly 50% move there, and that was about 36, maybe call it $35,000. That move up. So if we had something like that, actually, sorry, well, yeah, from here up to. So first of all, if it was a 30, what did I say, 35%, something like that, can't remember now, 34, that would take us up to there, which would be $144,000. So we have price moves like that, usually over the course of a good few weeks, but it it'd have until is there, wasn't it? It's Monday, April 26th. No, there. Sorry. So within that space of time, 4 to 9 days. Does that seem? Yeah, that seems about right, isn't it? Pretty much to the end of the year. So over the next month and a half-ish, 30, I've drawn it as 33%. Like 35% price move-ish would be up to like potentially 160. Getting a bit creative with where I'm lining that up to. So 160 could be on the cards, and but if it was it this one? Can't remember which one I drew that as. I mean that's like mind you, that's 66% price move to move up to $40,000. This one I drew, that was about $32,000, up 43% from where we are now. So I kind of forgot what I'm doing. God, yeah.
That all sounds very feasible, actually.
Yeah. So, I mean, the like high of 140,000 does seem at first. I mean, it actually seems quite reserved, doesn't it? These are like revised estimates from the market gurus, and that's kind of so. If you look at like someone like Thomas from Team Underground, who's still kind of asserting 200k top, but although now he's saying, well, that it doesn't necessarily mean 200k top by the end of the year. It's just like market top. So that could well just carry into next year. But certainly for Q4, these sorts of levels now all of a sudden seem achievable again, and that's assuming, because I think the bearish case of like, oh, we've topped already, it's all downhill from here, that's becoming more and more the minority, I think, because there's just so many factors that just seem bullish at the moment. But yeah, I think in terms of that, so the extended cycle, really, there do seem to be more and more people jumping onto the extended cycle wagon. So the market, it just kind of needs that extra time for all of the various bullish events to play out, and it would just be so like that things like the quantitative easing and the China deal to play out, all of, because obviously China has been printing a lot of money. They've begun their QE. They're well at it. Just if the sort of cheap Chinese electronics in their money printer can last for long enough, then they should print out a lot more money there. So their M2 money supply is already kind of entering the market, but I think we kind of need a bit of time for all of that to take effect. Okay. And of course, once the China deal is in place with the US, then that extra cash from China ought to then kind of flow over into the US economy as well. So, but that all needs time to play out. So, and it would just be weird if, like, for all of these cheerful bullish events that are all going to be happening next year, maybe in the first half of next year, if that's all happening while Bitcoin is kind of sulking like a sulky bear, down at 50k or something like that. It's like, come on, guys, just, nice things happening. Like, China's buying all of our materials or something. It's like, well, I don't care. I'm going to stay at 50. So yeah, I just can't see it. I think just why would Bitcoin drop with all that? Well, oh yeah, don't forget about us in the chat while you ramble on.
Yeah, I was just going to say, getting a bit heckling here, actually. Sort of.
Tough crowd.
Shall I put him on timeout? No, actually,
I think so. No.
No, I just actually had a look at what you were talking about, Scotty. You clearly weren't listening earlier. No, but we'll have a look at that in a moment, actually. But
yeah, for sure.
I do know what you mean. But yeah.
So yeah, I would say in between all the noise and all the nonsense, there's some, I don't know, one or two things that make sense. I think but I think I do think, like, to say next year, there's so many bullish catalysts, I think, that are lined up. So as long as those continue, we're not suddenly in World War III or something, then it just wouldn't make sense for Bitcoin to be kind of dropping, and so. I kind of feel like roll on 2026 really. Yeah.
Cool. Can we have a look at this thing for Scotty? I did have a look what he was talking about. I must admit that the trend shield thing is a little bit tricky to understand, but once you get it, it makes a lot of sense. And I think it's very important as well. So basically, what we've got. So I'm looking at it. I'm looking at H bar USDT on the Bybit chart. I don't know if that's relevant.
Okay. Yeah. I got Bybit here. So on the 1 hour. Let's have a look. Whoa. Right. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad you brought attention to this one.
Yeah. So okay. Well, you probably want to answer this, don't you?
What's the question?
It's could you check the charts? I think he's a little bit confused by the green triangle and the red background, but
okay, yeah. So this is intentional divergence, really, because anytime in the charts you do get kind of conflicting just things happening, So this is really a visualization of that. So that there is a particular way to read this, which allows you to sort of sort through all the divergence and conflicting stuff and so on, which is essentially that. So the green triangle is a trend shield. In this case, it's just like there's a solitary single triangle there. We might see another one when the next hour starts in 38 minutes, and so on. And quite often they do cluster together. It means essentially that there's potentially more market strength, more market upside there, So you kind of, it's a way of taking some other signal under advisement, So these red backgrounds, they don't actually mean go short, if you know what I mean. They're more of a sort of hey, the market's kind of it's in overcooked territory, really, and you sort of use that in conjunction with the fact that the convergence band has narrowed down, it's curved round, so we've got kind of the momentum is starting to come down. It's still up here in this upper, the sort of between 80 and 100% zone, and of course the super down signals as well, saying like hey, things are truly overcooked. Expect some retracing here. So they're reading one aspect of the overall chart data, but offset against that, you've got the trend shield, which is more about the fact that, yeah, as I was saying, that there's still strength in there. So if you're thinking about shorting, like these are saying, like, hey, maybe get ready for a short here. The trend shield is kind of saying like, whoa out there, just hold on to that thought, because either there might be more upside, or there might be just more kind of sideways ranging. The price may not be quite ready to come down just yet. So one thing about that is that the strength of the trend shield varies. So if the triangle is solid, then that means there's still a heap big amount of strength in there. When it starts to fade out, that means that the market is now kind of weakening a bit more. So it's now a bit more likely that it would actually kind of drop down. That particular triangle, in this case, it is transparent. I'll just do that a bit so you can kind of see it a bit more. It's bit, I mean, you kind of need one next to it really to see that, but it's a transparent trend shield there, meaning that yeah, you might potentially want to override that. It also means you then kind of maybe want to look at other aspects of the chart. This bearish retracement level, it just kind of that's actually the step 2, isn't it? So that's that wasn't, so it did the down, and the it actually didn't quite touch it. It was like within a cent probably of touching that level. So at this stage you could probably kind of decide, well, okay, is that in spirit that line has been retraced to? It's just very, very close. Or do you kind of take it as well, okay, that's still got to be reached and then there'll be a drop. That entirely depends on the chart and how you want to interpret it, really. But quite often when the retracement level is nearly touched, the price does come back up like shortly after and just kind of wick above it and then come down. So yeah, so hopefully that kind of answers that anyway, just in terms of how to view that. So,
yeah, I think so. Yeah. That's cool. Well, Scott is long. He's made 2K. That's brilliant. So well done.
Brilliant. Yeah.
And he actually prefers that to a certain other indicator. Okay, that's
yeah. So what I would say there is that these are actually very good to use in conjunction with each other, because they do kind of they complement each other. Basically, they're kind of showing different things. Like a Stonksy is kind of showing the kind of the go long and go short signals and so on. With Quadzilla, it's very much kind of showing levels. Excuse me. I mean, there's a certain amount of go long, go short going on down here, but it's more about just kind of using that in conjunction with what's up here, with what Quadzilla is showing up here as well. So you can very much use them both together, I would say. But obviously, I'm biased about which one I prefer.
Yeah. It's I think it's good to actually see all the aspects of. I mean, when you get used to Quadzilla and you get used to like the various signs you get from it when it's doing stuff, you actually get. I mean, for me, I've actually learned a lot about kind of market structure and stuff after using it, which has really just helped me generally.
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely made me a better trader, that's for sure. And it's done that by, I don't know, just understanding everything, just understanding how price moves a lot better. In particular, paying attention to the momentum and the trend, which in my mind are the two most important things for price action. So yeah, it's I don't know. I love it. Even if we hadn't made it, I'm sure it would still be my favorite indicator.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, I'm probably going to need to wrap up fairly soon.
Yeah,
I guess it's been a long live stream actually. So,
it has actually, yeah. So, but yeah, I think things are overall looking pretty good. I'm looking out for that cross on the 3-hour time frame for that 21 and 55 EMAs. I think if they cross nicely, I think it should be great. I think we should be up at the magic 108 level soon, and then hopefully that 108 that was support and then now is resistance. I think that will become support again, and then I think we'll be good.
Should we just have so I'll have one last look at the Bitcoin chart in a sec. It's just going to switch on the stats for H bar. This might be against my better judgment, but just curious to see it. How's it? So pretty good, I'd say. So on the 1 hour chart for H bar, then 91% of the step 2's complete, which is kind of that sort of thing. So if that had just gone up another cent, then that would be adding to the stats, I guess. So those are the bearish. For the bullish, it's actually a bit higher, 93. Then of the step 2's that have played out, so 98% of the step 3's then complete, and 99% for the bullish case. Those are pretty good. In terms of how long these take to trade out, to play out, so like kind of step 1's 12 hours or 10 hours, 2 days for step 2, so it's kind of, keep in mind it's on the 1 hour, so it's that kind of thing. So you could certainly have a trade open for that amount of time, and on average, so for the bearish step 2, it'd be the down, then the up, that on average would be a 9.4% trade, which is tidy profit on a 10x. You'd be getting towards 100% profit on that. So that'd be a 2 days well spent, I think. So switch that off, and then so super duper quick look then at back at Bitcoin, still on the index, and what do you think? I know you were talking about it just now anyway, but
which what?
Well, just to sorry, just to wrap up, really.
I see.
Any last thoughts on it?
Actually, to be honest, I was just looking at this this comment. Oh, hang on. I'm not quite sure what we were talking about there. WJM and soothing relaxation music. Something's only up 10%. And is that because of Wales? Oh, you might be talking about Zoid Pay, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know. Come along to the AMA tonight, and I've just joined in, see what it's all about.
Yeah.
If that's what you're talking about, I'm not sure really. Yeah, I was going to put the URL for that in the thingy, wasn't I? Let me do that. But yeah, thank you very, very much for everything. You've done an amazing job with this indicator, Maff. It's like it's just it's just an amazing piece of work. It's brilliant, and if you want to find out about it, just go to savewithcrypto.org/QZ. If you want to ask any questions about it, just come along to one of the live streams like this one, and just ask us about it, or you can join the Discord. So I'm just trying to find this link at the moment. Right. Okay. So that is the X link for the ZoidPay AMA tonight. Okay. If you, let me just show you a few thingies. So yeah, so if you want to find out about Quadzilla, go to savewithcrypto.org/QZ. If you want to join the Discord, join at savewithcrypto.org/Discord. Oh, you've got your shilling page up. Excellent. And Quadzilla isn't free, but it isn't expensive.
No.
Take it away,
and also if you use one of the affiliate exchange sign-up links, particularly Bitunix at the moment, then you get an amazing kind of deal on that, virtually free cash. So if you use that kind of in conjunction, then it suddenly makes the £60 a month just seem kind of trivial. I mean, it's trivial anyway, but you could actually kind of pay for Quadzilla with that sign-up bonus on Bitunix or via one of the other links as well, and to be honest, you'd kind of make this back in your first trade or so anyway using Quadzilla. So it's just it really does pay for itself very, very quickly, and then of course you're just printing money after that essentially.
Nice. And yeah, that's real money, not pretend money like what the
not funny internet money.
Yeah, not like what the US government do. Right, I just got a message from my daughter to go and pick her up, so I need to go and do that really. Okay, everything's looking really good, and we'll be back tomorrow at the same time, midday, or if you're German, 12 o'clock. Actually, do you know what o'clock doesn't actually mean of the clock at all? It means of the cloche, like the French word meaning bell. So it actually means the fourth bell, because so 12 o'clock means 12 rings of the bell. It's not actually 12 on the clock. Anyway.
Okay. I'm utterly bamboozled now. That's amazing. I'm literally shocked.
Yes, the o'clock isn't o'clock, it's o'cloche, sort of.
Total reframing of it every time I've read the time or told the time my entire life.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow.
That's where it comes from, apparently. Right. Anyway, so right, with that amazing piece of trivia, I'll say it's good afternoon from me.
And good afternoon from him, or is it morning? Because now I'm really confused.
We'll think of a better one for that. Anyway, but all right, take care, everyone. See you soon. Please do like the live stream. See you at the ZoidPay AMA tonight, and see you back here tomorrow. All right, take care, everyone. Bye.